And when I see and hear over and over again the assertion of complete inaccuracies that Ukraine is responsible for starting the war with Russia. There's so many of them, and they keep asserting these things, expecting us to believe that the climate crisis is a hoax invented by the Chinese, that windmills cause cancer, that coal is clean, and they try to assert with the force of power their own special version of alternative facts.
Yeah, but I guarantee that the side of the country that voted for Trump, they hear Nazi and they just go, oh, you're calling us Nazis? First of all, it's a bit of a false premise, as bad as they are. And also, it just says to them, well, you just hate us. And one thing I've learned in recent years is that the one thing that's more powerful than money is hate.
I think there's a long way from, having the dream of building unimaginable wealth to also having, a lot of people just want the aspiration.
According to Kevin, I'm besmirching the American dream.
The aspiration to not have to struggle every day. I mean,
exactly.
and to have a job or have a career or have a business that allows them to live a life where they're not living paycheck to paycheck, living under constant anxiety. And so I agree with Kevin. The American dream is believing that you live in a country where if you achieve the status that you want to achieve so that you're not struggling or that you are filthy rich, that some politician is not going to come along and try to take it away from you and tell you you're the enemy. That's her program. If you made it, if you worked hard.
Yes, do you want to be a hero for visiting the White House or having a conversation with Trump after saying ridiculous things in the past about him? When you take a look at this, be told Piers Morgan that Larry David invoking Hitler to mock his dinner with Trump is kind of insulting to the 6 million Jews who died in the... He also said you should be able to face those you disagree with politically in person rather than just insulting them in public. I don't know if you've seen this segment. I'm going to show you some videos about this. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that. It will do you no harm if you share the video.
But I don't think paying back your debts is morally superior. I literally don't care that you grinded for over a decade and stretched yourself so thin and worked 2 jobs and missed out on kids' birthdays and missed out on funerals and missed out on your life. What is dwindling time in your life of mobility and good health in order to pay back, of all people, the federal government. You will never catch me working that hard for the federal government, ever. Ever, ever, ever. There are so many people in my comments, wait, I'm confused. I thought we were paying our student loans back. It's a loan, not a gift. Yeah, I literally don't care. Congratulations. You did. I'm not. And many people can't. And also the people that have been paying them back and are in good standing and trying to be a good citizen, quote unquote, because that's how we're measured, is how well we can pay back our debts when our own government is not even paying back our debts. And our own president owes the state of New York so much money that he literally can't even go there. And the fact that he owes other states so much money that he literally couldn't hold rallies. And that's why he had to use really obscure, weird third-party vendors in order to hold rallies in states. He's gone bankrupt 6 times. So yeah, your neighbor who's got 3 children and weighed down by student loans, who has to file for bankruptcy in order to continue to pay her student loans, is the one that's morally inferior. Same government that sends $8.8 billion at the drop of a hat across seas to support an extinction of an entire people. Same government who manipulates and uses our stock market to their own advantage and insider trades every day. Congratulations. Like, you literally are living and dying to pay back the federal government, and it's never going to be me. The bootlicking is insane. It's a really, really weird hill to die on when you can't even afford eggs. That goes for all debts. That goes for houses. That goes for cars. We're weighed down by cars and car loans with high interest rates because we don't have public transport that's affordable and or accessible. Weighed down by mortgages. Let's not even talk about that. None of us are ever going to own homes ever again. Allowing predatory practices like LLCs buying out houses, doing absolutely nothing about it, if anything, perpetuating the behavior. The federal government does not care about you. They're making billions of dollars off of your back. These debts are not ours. Paying back our student loans will not fix our debt deficit. Just run the numbers. The fact that they are bleeding out money in places like the DOD. It is not on me to bail out the government. It is not on the American people. They have just propagandized it that way. Until we see that, until we see our government as inherently evil and that they are all working towards the same goal, we will never have class solidarity and we will never, ever get ourselves out of this situation. We need some Eric Mays energy up in this.
My summary of the first 100 days is that the bad news is...
Yes, I decided to play this video because there is something. This guy on Maher stood up like he is disappointed with 100 days of Trump, what he has done. Like he has never seen this before. When you take a look at this lady here, it reminded me of what he said on that video, which I'm going to show you. She's sitting here refusing that she will not pay back the student loan she took. People didn't allow her to rest on the comment section. She had to do a video replying to them like, oh, they are there, the federal government, I cannot work for the federal government, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. It is insane. It's a loan you took. Why can't you pay it back? They didn't dash you that money. So when I see people doing this every single time, it is insane. I did a video the other day where it is now a trend for them putting out clips because the Trump administration made it clear, like there is a deadline. If you don't do that, they know how they are going to get back the money you borrowed. It's a problem to Libras.
My summary of the first 100 days is that the bad news is it's the worst first 100 days in U.S. presidential history. I can't think of a presidency that had it worse. But the good news, I think, for the country is it's the worst first 100 days in U.S. presidential history. For precisely the reason that you suggest, Bill, which is that a lot of the country that voted for President Trump because they didn't like the course of the country under his predecessor, because they were mad, because they thought stuff needed to be broken up and disrupted, are waking up.
Sometimes when I watch people like this, it baffles me. What he is doing here, only the negative side. He has not pointed out the good things he has done within these days. He should be able to bring out the good and the bad. Let's see the differences. Then you can classify it like the worst 100 days you have ever seen. I understand that you don't like what is happening at the border. You wanted people to be flowing in and out. That is what this guy wanted. A lot Trump is doing for the benefit of everyone, but people like this will never see that. They just want to equalize everything into being the worst, because that has always been the thing. Even Trump saved someone's life on the street, these people will always see it like a bad thing.
People are saying, he's not my president. Yeah, both sides say that when they lose it. He's not my president. Well, you know what? I'm sorry, precious, but we don't get our own personal president in America. We have elections, and one guy wins, and he legit, I'm sorry, won twice. And by the way, the time he didn't win, I said to his face, you didn't win. Yeah. You'd think a liberal would love that somebody did that to the president. You'd think that would be like nothing for that, nothing?
I completely agree.
It's crazy.
I told you privately, and I've said it on air, I think you did exactly what you should have done. And this idea that you can't is indicative of the mindset, to me, of why the left has got itself into such a problem.
And again,
especially with Trump, because they don't seem to know how to take him on. Like, what I'm looking for is not someone that just screams at Trump all day and calls it, but somebody who actually presents a compelling argument to the American people of how it could be different. That is a compelling enough thing where they want to vote for them.
My answer can just be summed up in 4 words. As opposed to what?
Yes.
As opposed to what is the... You don't have the court. You don't have the Senate. You lost the House. You lost everything. You lost everything with your stupid boutique issues and your insistence that Joe Biden was a handsome young triathlete who was completely capable of functioning for another term. So now and not having a primary. And so now you have nothing. You have nothing. I said it last week. It's that scene in the movie where they're having a gunfight and then click, click.
This is what I'm talking about. It is possible for you to still associate with people you disagree with politically. we might understand that now. Before, he was not getting it. When things start changing, along the way, I see a lot of people saying, this guy is doing all this because he wants to now play both sides, because liberals are not supporting him enough, so he wants to go to the other side. I don't really think this should be the case. Even if the case, but it is important to have conversations with people you disagree with. More to that, Trump is the president to everyone. You can't deny that. If you have the opportunity to see him without being a Libra, or you should, because he's your president. You can't change that. Thank you guys for always being there sharing all my videos. God bless you. Continue to support the channel. This is what I do daily. And please, if you see any clip after this, that is just for the YouTube algorithm.
Investigation from the police, the attorney.
This is not going to end. Right is right and wrong is wrong.
What if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense, because if you are afraid the day before...
Well, this is still coming in. This is definitely a self-defense case, because it always is one until you look at the facts of the case and compare the two. You have to compare who was the initial aggressor. Was it opiate force?
He's afraid to...
She's even said all of those things.
Followers for anything. And then
Registration Act is
talking about this man,
My summary of the first 100 days is that
if film and TV productions continue to...
So as birth rates continue...